Okay, we're here to finish the train wreck dumpster fire that is Final Fantasy X-2. You know, missing some things required for 100% completion for the, mascot job. I'm gonna run around and do some random battles while I talk here. Missing a couple things like that really revealed just how busted this game is. It's significantly more busted than I thought it was going to be, coming at it from, 20 years of not having played it. Like, nothing happens in this game. It's so dependent on a completionist playthrough to even make sense as, like, a complete product, I did not remember that at all. Just gonna try to get a couple levels here, nothing crazy. Oh, these guys can attack with Doom, that's cool. I think we said 4 dice is better in group combat, but I don't think Doom can ever kill me if I'm spamming dice. Funnily enough. Those bombs can probably kill me, though. It's pretty good. You're not missing anything. The ending doesn't make any sense. The game doesn't make any sense. I had a vaguely positive impression of this game, just thinking the story was a little silly, but that the mechanics were fine. But I think even just playing it as a video game and pretending like the story doesn't exist, it's not all there. It's a somewhat interesting fan hack. It's probably the nicest thing you could say about it. Okay, so my current setup isn't really good enough for what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, I'm just gonna wipe. It's fine.
Don't worry, I'll take care of you.
It was very surprising. I was not expecting to hate it as much as I did. I came into it with fresh eyes, not having played it in years, thinking, oh, it's probably better than a lot of people give it credit, but it's honestly been shocking how, little depth it has, and how much they're, really, really trying to, force content into the game in regions where, they have these existing assets from Final Fantasy X, and just they don't know what to put there, right? So they just, scramble to come up with something that is maybe arguably playtime. I think the job stuff only works when taken almost entirely separately from the actual game, right? You'd almost have to be doing the monster arena or whatever sort of side content is having you justify maxing the jobs and using them more than just for, a regular playthroughs, regular combats. Uh-oh. This might be bad. I just want to get one victory. I think that probably is enough to get a level up here. We'll see. Bad Breath is going to fuck me up here in a second. It might be that the PS4 port makes the job system actively less interesting, too. As we were talking about, that, it seems to have broken the ATB meter, which is... Given that the whole system is around being able to change jobs dynamically in combat, is a kind of important thing to not break.
Oh, I can't watch!
It's not so much that it's pretentious. It's, Hironobu Sakaguchi had left the company because of the failure of the Final Fantasy movie, Spirits Within. Kind of like an expected Japanese thing to do, to take responsibility for that and resign. And so this is the first Final Fantasy product. I guess 11 was released around the same time, or about the same time, as an MMO, which I think kind of is a completely separate thing altogether. it's as different as like Tactics is. But
Any better?
anyway, Final Fantasy X was an extremely popular product in Japan, and this game kind of feels like a cynical cash grab at trying to like get people to buy another one, which it didn't have to be. Like, I don't think the premise of making a sequel to one of their anthology games, I don't think that's like rotten to the core. I just think they did it in an extraordinarily lazy way, an uninspired way. And I did not come at it expecting to have that cynical of a take when I first started playing it. I was thinking, oh, I could like this game with, you know, a handful of caveats. My episode 1 take was, oh, it's completely fine, just the only issue is that it's set in Spira. If it wasn't Yuna, then I would have no issues with it. But it wouldn't work as that at all. Like, it is so dependent on the reuse of assets from Final Fantasy X that they could not have made, you know, Final Fantasy JRPG spin-off adventure without it being set in Spira. Because there's no unique content to justify it, you know? They're already committed to an action, they don't take the downside of confuse until after the action completes. I might have to do a little bit more grinding. I'll go attempt the boss after this battle, assuming we get a level up or two here.
Turned on.
So I'm pretty under-leveled. Okay, I guess Pain got a level, which isn't great, but... I was mentioning that it's kind of shocking that this game gives you an item that lets you disable random battles fairly early in the playthrough. As much as I like it, because the battles get kind of repetitive after a while. Charm Bangle, right? Where is it? Anyway, like, if anything, they needed to make sure that you were getting into more battles in order to, like, stretch out the game as much as possible, because as soon as the battles get turned off, and you're not feeling compelled to do all of the optional content, you realize how little is here, you know. Let's try this again. If you really think about it, what has happened in this game? Like, what have the characters done? How have their motivations changed? What are the arcs? Like, Yuna and company are sphere hunters, and they hunt some spheres, and all of it's inconsequential. But it turns out that separate from everything our heroines are doing, these other guys who are like brand new Kingdom Hearts insert characters are going on a much more interesting adventure that has to do with a giant, like, nuclear weapon that's underneath Bavel in this, like, comically oversized machine building, which is connected to the far plane for no reason. And one of them is possessed by a guy who looks almost exactly like Titus from the first game. And Titus was mad because he couldn't be with his girlfriend, a pop star called Len, who is the personality that's baked into the songstress dress sphere, but it's the only dress sphere that has like a personality relationship to someone from the ancient world. Because that idea is actually really cool, that what if all these spheres are connected to individual personalities, right? But they don't really explore it at all. And the game so quickly goes from, you know, irrelevant mini games and faffing about with like LeBlanc and co. to this Vegnagun thing, to, oh, Vegnagun is being used by one of the Kingdom Hearts inserts who's actually possessed by Shuyin, who's fake Titus. And now everyone's sad, so Yuna has to throw a concert, and during the concert, everyone finds out about the backstory of Len and Shuyin, and they're super sad about it. And now Yuna needs to go tell Shuyin that Len actually loved him, and then maybe he'll stop trying to blow up Spira. I don't know, like, it's actually more simple than I just made it out to be. Clasko had an arc. There's one scene in this game that I kind of liked. Like, unironically, I thought it was good. It was when Yuna was talking about, talking to Nuge. Nuge had this plan to, like, sacrifice himself to save the day, and she's like, that plan sucks. You know, it was kind of a surprising thing to hear from Yuna. I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing with that. Like, they didn't earn it. The reason that Nuge wanted to sacrifice himself was extraordinarily stupid. It existed just to get Yuna to say this thing that made sense following the events of Final Fantasy X. That he was going to get possessed by a ghost and then use an explosive to explode the ghost or something. But the actual scene itself of Yuna saying, that plan sucks, I thought was cool. And probably belonged in a better game. Everything else has just been like a narrative non sequitur.
I'll let you have this one. I'm going to go cheer Nuji on. Got it!
Hopefully it keeps letting me save in
Would love
between
never stand a
phases
chance
here.
against this thing.
Well, we've got a leg up on her.
Save the jokes for later.
Oh, Dies Irae. It's, probably recognize, it's in everything, but you probably recognize it from The Shining. It's an old, like, Catholic Church funerary hymn. Shows up as a motif for death and a lot of, like, film scores. The side content is all over the place. I think 90% of it is dumb and not well motivated. Some of it's okay, but okay. Well, that's not a great start.
You can't reach those nodes with a sword.
I love the post-death shouting there. That was great. Oops. I think Yuna might just have to be full-time white mage duty. Unfortunately. Even though it slows things down quite a bit here. Yeah, and, like, they come out of nowhere, and it very much has this, like, fan fiction insert feel of, like, hey, let's add these cool new characters into this established setting. Like, I'm not saying they couldn't add new characters to Spira, and in fact, they probably should have had more new characters, because they're very dependent on the old models from the original Final Fantasy X. But Nuge and Barreleye and Gipple, they don't feel, they're just kind of there, you know. They feel like DM PCs in a really bad Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And like they're the ones that are the drivers of all of the action and the events of the plot, not, you know, Yuna and company. I think Yuna's biggest thing she does is she falls in a hole. Hey, thanks, Kips. Appreciate the raid. How have you been? Or were you just streaming? Let's go with Regal Crown. Maybe makes a big enough difference. I saw there were some elemental casts, so maybe I can give her something that gives her immunity to ice. Just so somebody is... I might not need the silence immunity anymore. That was for fighting Anima. First fire damage to MP. Just spread those around a little bit. Let's definitely have someone that reduces all elemental damage by half. That seems nice. Okay. Give this a stab. I might have to equip those again if this next attempt goes south, which it probably will. Were you playing 10-2 recently, Kips?
What are you doing here? I'll let you have this one. I'm going to go cheer Nuji on. Got it!
LeBlanc never stood a chance against this thing.
Well, we've got a leg up on her. Save the jokes for later.
Save the jokes for later. Not a great start. I'm still not clear if haste even really does too much with the way spellcasting works in this. Immune to slow, that's nice. I guess I can try 4 dice because of the nodes. 4 dice is better damage AoE, I think somebody looked up last time. Try to keep using that.
Can't reach those nodes with a sword.
Can't breach those nodes with a short sword for sure. She can spam Vigor during that. DS Ire is not magical damage, it looks like. That could be bad. It's special. Try Protect just to see if that helps. The music in this game isn't like completely unforgivably terrible, but like it's so much less inspired than anything in any other Final Fantasy game, especially these like final boss themes, which historically are where your best music tracks are, right? A few literary terms to flash on screen and an hour-long video rant will throw together a series of optional scenes. You could create more 10-2 apologists. Yeah, I'm sorry, Aki. I know. I think this one probably works just great.
You can read its moves. Watch the colors.
Thanks, Orin. It works just great as like a completionist addict game, but it is probably the least functional as a like just main story that you play through, you know. Probably need to burn full life here. It's expensive. I just don't buy. I think the main feeling I get from playing it again is just that it lacks direction. They didn't really know what they were doing, what their plans were, you know. It was mostly just make another one and use these assets, right?
Red uses physical attacks. Yellow casts offensive magic. Green handles recovery.
Really? That's probably why I have a less negative impression of it from when I played it 20 years ago. That I definitely was an ultra completionist back then. I wouldn't play a game without 100%ing it. I probably wasn't thinking as negatively about the mini games back then too, but it just really feels like every map you go to, they're like, well, shit, what do we do here? Like, we gotta get our content out of this zone, right? I think this will eventually work once I defeat all of the nodes, but I'm honestly not... Oh, well, that's an attack. Okay. Oh, Yudo is in the middle of casting and just... It's fine, she's just dead now. Alright, I might need to do some grinding to have a chance here. Let me look this thing up, though. The nodes have 300k HP. Thank you for the heads up. But, like, the very first thing that pops up is, like, you can't target the nodes without, You can't target the nodes with melee attacks. So it's like, oh, okay, so I'm supposed to target the nodes, right? That's what that means. They wouldn't mention that otherwise. I'll just try it again, ignoring the nodes, and see what happens. I don't think that Shell was really doing me too much other than making Kiraga shittier, so... Increasing everyone's max health will help. That one crazy attack it did where it just hit everyone was really bad. Alright, you know, you're gonna be a white mage. Probably for the whole fight. MP is potentially less important. Let's see what my options are here. This fight might not even have any status effects, so I could potentially just take that off. Still do. Oh, I didn't do the unwavering guard trick. I should probably do that. That's might be enough to push me over the edge here. Oh, because I'm not casting any spells on it. Okay. I didn't think you could, like, target reflect, because I thought it was just a party-wide ability.
What are you doing here?
Not yet, we'll see.
I'll let you have this one. I'm going to go cheer Nuji on. Got it!
LeBlanc never stood a chance against this thing.
Well, we've got a leg up on her. Save the jokes for later.
I can only cast Reflect on all of it, but I guess Reflect's not going to get me in trouble with anything else, so it's probably fine. Well, that's not a great start. Oh, it's immune to Reflect. That doesn't work. Too bad. The stoplight.
You can't reach those nodes with a sword.
Okay, I should have them at full resources there, I think. Need her to switch all her jobs around here. Ow, ow.
Keep your eyes on those colors.
Hopefully I can out-damage the Kira, because I don't think I can stop it, right? Since you said the nodes have 300k HP each.
You can read its moves. Watch the colors.
Thanks, Orin. I think that's more damage than it's healing itself for occasionally, but I'm not 100% sure. At least we can stop Regen from doing anything because it's broken. For extremely funny reasons. I know that Protect helps too much, but I'll try it here. Would reflect the party, but I can't do so safely, I don't think. Then I won't be able to heal anymore. So crazy to me that you can just like fill the garment grid instantly because the ATB is busted. That has to be a PS4
Red
exclusive
uses physical
problem.
attacks. Yellow casts offensive magic. Green handles recovery.
I love that like your inspirational spirits and friends are here to just literally tell you how the fight works, right? As long as I keep spamming Kiraga, we should win eventually. 18,000 health the thing has, I think. Oh, that's bad. Unlucky timing, primarily, looks like. Cool. That's what got us killed last time, almost. Petrify Pain here. Okay, good. Thank you for hitting Yuno with that at least. And now we're dead. Oh, I was really lucky. Probably need Pain to pick up Riku here. I don't know if when they die, if they lose all of
Figure
their...
it out yet? Keep hitting a node and it changes color.
Oh, it's so insulting. It's kind of funny, actually.
Use your opponent's logic against it, and the battle is yours.
I love how they have all this shit to like try to get you to understand this complicated fight, but the actual answer is to just like focus down the leg and completely ignore the
Fight as
notes.
long as you can, then fight more. Don't give it time to heal.
Yeah, about that. Dog. Oh my god. Stop instantly killing Riku the moment I pick her up. Jeez. I might be getting screwed by the ATB in the other direction in this fight. Like, it might be that using 2 dice and Kiraga's spells is, like, breaking the enemy's scripting here or something. Keep doing that, please. I'm able to top everyone off, at least. That's good. I think Blizzaga is the only... I guess Blizzaga and Thundaga, so if I do this again, I'll equip something that gives immunity to ice and lightning. I wonder if turning on wait mode would change anything? Oh, fuck. Probably not. And we're dead. Feels impossible to catch up when this happens. And
Don't forget the lake. That's your main target.
thank you, Orin. Appreciate it, buddy. Can't use all my Mega Phoenixes. I probably need them for later. I should have rezzed Pain, because I think Riku's like weak against magic or something. Something's not right with Riku. Weak to life. And I'm about to be dead. Bye, Yuna. Wow. Okay. We might not have time for 12 today. We'll see. I might have to grind for a while. Unfortunately. See how it goes, though. Let's see. Haste is basically useless with my current setup, which is so weird because I've never played a game where that's true. It felt like the Tetra Band was actually causing me problems before, but maybe I was just confused. Nullifies water damage, right? Sure, what's the shenanigan? Is it gonna work just for the arm or all of them? You met the rest of her family? What is it? I love how wild the random battles are in this game. Like, some random enemies just don't do any damage. It feels like they thought, well, you know, the only people playing this game are going to be people that are going to 100% it, and so they're always going to, every random battle, they're just going to nuke everything on the first turn. So we don't really need to tune anything, right? It's like working backwards from the Knights of the Round one-shotting Sephiroth. That's probably what's going to happen anyway, so...
Getting nervous?
Okay.
All right.
So I can cheese that specific boss to get to the next one. But that won't be enough to beat the core, right? Sure. Now to eject them from the battle so you can never get them back? Like the enemy that like kicks you off the battlefield? So this cheese only really works on the first fight, which is fine because this first fight's annoying enough. I might even be able to do the following fights. It could just be problems arising from the ATB being broken on this version of the game. It might be that my feeling unimpressed by the battle system is just because that it's literally broken. That it's not supposed to be like this. I'm surprised it didn't get patched, to be honest.
My suffering mirrors yours.
They don't damage themselves that much. That's nice.
My suffering mirrors yours.
I guess there's no choice.
You get a garment grid that gives me access to white magic. Or, like, prey, so I can just spam prey on every job.
There's enough pain to go around.
Right. You still need to be on Lady Luck to get double XP, right?
Prepare to be shaken and stirred.
Would you like to play a game?
Looks bad. Perfect. Perfect timing. Hi, Ben. I heard a rumor that you were a little guy, Ben. wish I could see a summary of the amount of damage I'm doing with 2 dice, like after it finishes casting. Probably faster for me to swap in battle. Back to Dark Knight, that is. How many more casts do I have to do-ish? Okay, 15. I'll take a minute. I guess XP is XP. You're getting lucky. This is the easiest enemy by far. And it also gives more XP than the more difficult, like,
Shouldn't we be running
Greater
scared by
Malboro
now?
fight.
My suffering mirrors yours.
Still haven't found anyone that's tried to explain how they broke. Why is the game bugged on PS5? Or PS4 actually, because I'm playing the PS4 version on PS5. I'm trying to understand, like, what is the mechanism that would make the ATB shit the bed like this?
My suffering mirrors yours.
Use Light Magic doesn't let you use Prey and Vigor though, right?
No pain, no gain.
What a sloppy victory.
Better than a sloppy defeat.
Well, no double XP, that's okay. I have to save after every battle because a couple of the random battles here are, like, more dangerous. You could nuke me down really quickly. Man, the luck continues. I feel like the big advantage of Prey is that there is no cast bar. So when you pray, you can spam it a lot faster. Haste is relevant. It's not relevant right now with
May
darkness.
pain be my blade.
My pain is your pain. My pain is your pain.
My suffering mirrors yours.
A little luck never hurts. Getting nervous?
On average, a slightly more damage than
Cross your fingers.
darkness. Looks like darkness is affected by defense, so that gets in the way. Man, rolling those 7s right now. She gets some kind of bonus for rolling 7 that many turns in a row. Uh-oh, this could be game over. Pain survived. Yuna gets no XP, which sucks. Yep, he's definitely dead after that. How are we doing? 15 out of 20. We're almost there. Get to use it about 5 times per fight. Alright, possibly 1 or 2 more random battles here. Hello.
My suffering mirrors yours.
Having to grind. Unfortunately. Seems bad.
My pain is your pain.
This is probably death. Yep.
It's me almost as much as it hurts you.
Just gonna kill Riku. No, actually. Nice
Prepare to be
miss.
shaken
Very
and
lucky.
stirred.
I've got you covered.
Don't worry, I'll take care of ya.
Alright, got the Kiraga off in time. That's helpful.
The night beckons.
Nice knowing you.
There's enough pain to go around.
Another earthquake that we ought to survive this time, I think. Once it says we learned Charon, we can switch back to Lady Luck here. There's one. Ouch. Extra ouch.
This had better be worth it.
My pain is your pain.
Alright, everybody has it now. That's exciting. Bye, Yuna. You tried. You use Karen, does that prevent you from getting XP on that character as well?
I can't watch.
Assume yes. This is gonna hurt.
Getting nervous?
So what have we got this time?
We need to finish with the Dark Knights, actually. It doesn't do much damage here. Watch it get off another Earthquake before I can finish it off here. Just be perfect.
Believe in the light.
That's good.
Everyone, stay strong.
Try anyway. Ouch.
This'll help.
No pain, no gain.
That helps.
Shouldn't you be running scared by now? This hurts me almost as much as it hurts you!
How many hit points does this thing have? It's kind of hilarious
No
right
pain,
now.
no gain.
Watch it give like half the XP of the Adamantoise, which dies really fast. Incredible. Yeah, I feel like the encounter table in this game is like, I don't know anyone who's familiar with RPG Maker, but you know, when you boot up a new game in RPG Maker, it has an encounter table for all the monsters, and the stats are kind of like randomly determined and don't really scale very well to whatever game you actually want to build. But it's like they just started with that like random set of statistics. They're like, yeah, this is fine. This will work. Hey! Alright. Should be good now. Would have been a really nice one to have double XP on, but I wasn't able to keep track. Good question. So in theory, we should be able to clear the first Vecna Gun boss instantly. And we might be needing to get a little bit more creative for the following bosses. Although the other following bosses might not have ATB jank that makes them as difficult as this first one, so who knows. Yeah, I agree. Pain, let's give you the Charm Bangle back here. I only have one max HP accessory, unfortunately, and it's already on Riku. Oh, really? Yeah, I do not have 5k HP. Alright, well I can guess I can... Is it based on current HP when you cast it? Hey, Surf, how you doing? I only have one max HP thing. Let me check and see if I'm missing one. I don't think there's anything that raises HP from the garment crit. Yeah, doesn't look like it. Nope. I think it's not gonna work. Alright, well I'll try casting Darkness a bunch of times and then seeing what happens. Was it just like double max HP then, basically?
What are you doing here?
I'll let you have this one. I'm going to go cheer Nujion.
Maybe there's like a Giant's Tonic item or something that I can use to increase their max HP,
LeBlanc
maybe?
never stood a chance against this thing.
Well, we've got a leg up on her.
Save the jokes for later.
This is very serious, guys. I did nothing because of that. So it doesn't care about current HP. 2200. It's got like 16 left. It's got like 15 left. $14, $13.
Can't reach those nodes with a sword.
12. Oh, that sucks. Oh, they both committed to... Okay, Pain wasn't. I thought she was already on Charon, but that was Yuna. Just grinding, because I can't win with my current stats, so... Trying to cheese it right now. Oh, Pain just got berserked. It's game over. Yep.
Keep your eyes on those colors.
So much for the Charon strategy. I love that the like hint dialogue still plays even while you're dead. I guess I can see how many I have. I have 2 stamina tablets, so I don't want to burn them on this first fight. Is there anywhere I can like buy accessories that increase my max HP? Because I'm okay to just leave since I have the charm bangle. Pretty much. Really make my life slightly easier if I quickly switch all their classes around, since I can do that for free stats.
you doing here?
60% HP accessories in Xanarkin? That's
I'll let you have
pretty
this
crazy.
one. I'm going to
Okay.
go cheer New Gion.
If I had game over again, I might go check that out. I think I'm still allowed to leave.
LeBlanc never stood a chance against
I don't know what
this
areas I'm allowed to
Well,
go
we've
to.
got a leg up on her. Save the jokes for later.
Lucky miss.
You can't reach those nodes with a sword.
Oh, weird. So, the thing that lets you switch jobs for free constantly and fuck with the turn order only works... No, it's working again. That's really weird. I don't know why it didn't for a second there. Zero. Maybe there's like a time delay with the ATV bug or something. It's 100 HP accessory in the youth league. Job switches should help a bit with stats here, I hope. Well, that was not good. Just getting wrecked over here.
Keep your eyes on those colors.
Yuna's dead.
You can read its moves. Watch the colors.
Ain's dead. Cool. I think a big part of the stress here is I just feel like I have no control over the turn order here, right? Like, sometimes the boss just goes over and over, and it's not clear what's happening.
Red uses physical attacks. Yellow casts offensive magic. Green handles recovery.
This darkness isn't blocked by protect. Yeah, I understand that, but like previous bosses with multiple ATB gauges, like the Magus Sisters, there's something with the ATB glitch that forces enemies, whenever you're constantly casting spells, for some reason it will cause them to only use spells with cast bars. That's what I've been able to put together. So I think this enemy is pretty difficult because all of the nodes have cast bars, and all of the cast bar attacks are nasty. Burn that here. Careful, you berserk. Lucky miss.
figure it out yet?
Probably getting
Keep
close
hitting
to
a note and
when
it changes
Yuna
color.
and Riku can Charon the thing. Try to run a few more turns with this first, I guess.
Use your opponent's logic against it, and the battle is yours.
What is the opponent's logic exactly?
Fight as long as you can, then fight more. Don't give it time to heal.
Skill Pain here. Thought that was gonna be enough, but I guess not. Be nice if you could still win after all three of them use Charon. Yeah, Pain is dead because of the slow there, I think. If it petrifies her, it's game over. We have to get really lucky, and it has to have exactly like 500 health left here. Oh, nope. Pain's gonna die first. Thought I had done enough damage already. I guess not. Alright, let me leave the dungeon and see if I can get these HP upgrades. I think the thing probably had like just a little bit of health left there. I wasn't tracking how much it was healing itself, but I hit it for like 11k with the 2 Charons, and I thought I'd done more than 7k with the darkness, but I guess not. Alright. Don't know what all it lets me go back to during this. I'm surprised it lets me leave at all. I guess I should be grateful that, like, you could save in between phases of this boss fight. Like, what? Somebody's fighting this without just, like, Knights of the Round one-shotting it? We've been playing the same game? Well, you know, I might be able to board airship from this thing, actually. I love it. You just come back and everything's fine. Who's the shopkeeper in Xanarkand? Hopefully it's not inside the dome. I don't want to let you access it during this chapter because we don't have anything to put there for you to do.
Please, don't worry about Xanarkand. We can handle a few fiends.
You're really brave.
I would do anything to protect these ruins. Today's Spira changes at a dizzying rate. People
Xanarkand Dome,
flock to
Chapter
what is
3
different
only. Okay.
and what is new. They are quick to forget the old things that stay the same. If no one is watching, this place too will be lost in the shifting sands of time. So I thought, there may as well be one man around to defend the unchanging.
I can get an HP 40% in Mihen High Road.
Me.
Wait, this says Xanarkin Dome Chapter 5. Maybe I can still go in, but just not all the way in or something? I don't know. I know, right? He's a somewhat important character in Final Fantasy X. I don't know what... They turned him into like a Xanarkin Ruins tour guide that pulls pranks on people in Yudaleska's room. Thanks, game. This thing must be confused when it says Xanarkin Chapter 5. Go get the one that's... Youth League headquarters real quick. Which is, Mushroom Rock Road. It's just a chest there, basically. I think I only need the 40% upgrade. If I can get a stack of those. So let's try Mihen High Road. You didn't spend enough time.
I never figured out why the Machina went out of control. Strange, huh?
Next playthrough, you should spend more time. Whoa, hey! You're kidding me. Are they joking? Okay, I can still revisit here. Travel agency, please. I assume that's where the shop is. Eight titanium bangles if they sell them here. Assuming you can equip duplicates of the same thing. Alright, actually I only needed 6, but whatever. It's fine. Yeah, that'll get us pretty close enough, I think. It's gonna be just barely short, so I'm gonna have to cast Darkness like once, I think. Or I could like try to get one more battle to just make it roll over there. It's possible that this one with the lights is gonna be the only one that's annoying with the ATB glitch, so if I can just kill this first one, maybe everything will be fine. I have no idea.
What are you looking at?
Farplane data.
Yeah, I know, but I was annoyed that it kicked me out of the chapter immediately, Ravadan, instead of letting me explore Mihen High Road, because I wasn't there for the chapter conclusion.
The life force that flows through our planet, I think.
Icky connection to FF7.
The energy into usable form.
Sweet!
Of course, that'd take generations.
That's no fun!
Well, still, it is something worth shooting for.
Think how much Spear would change if we ever got it to work. Maybe one day we could build a city full of light, one that never sleeps.
Ah!
Just imagine. But I'll never get to see it, will I?
Yuna's responsible for...
Shinra! Don't make Yuna sad!
Right, my bad.
Oof. So, hold on. Before, I couldn't just go into a hole and drop into it. I had to talk to someone who was like, which hole do you want to drop into?
Choose your...
Oh. Well, thanks for the Far Plane Abyss shortcut, brother. Let's just fly there. Yeah, sure. That's fine. This is fine. It's fine. This is fine. I love that it's brother too. Like, they could have just as easily put it on the save point and be like, ah, it's like a save point, teleport, whatever, you know. No. Brother's gonna fly there. He's gonna dip the he's gonna dip the motorcycle airship into one of the holes. Keeping a ribbon on someone's probably still a good idea because it does have like break and berserk and shit, but hopefully I can just go in there, do a round of darknesses, and then 2 Charons, and that should kill it, I think. Attempt number 6. Or so, something like that. Oh man, I know, right, Aki? I love that developer room. We'll do the credits the way you like it. Such a cool sequence.
What are you doing here?
What was Nomura's role in Chrono Trigger? It
I'll
wasn't
let you
character
have this
design,
one.
right?
I'm going to go cheer New Gion.
Got it!
LeBlanc never stood a chance against this thing.
Well, we've got a leg up on her.
Save the jokes for later.
The way to use Kira before I got to go makes things easier for me. TSE day, TSE day. Oh. Did it buff its HP or something? Is that why it didn't work before? Wait. No, it just got to finish casting spells for some reason. Okay. Oh, there's a mithril dangle.
Look!
I'm going.
Yeah, you know, up to 99.99, or enough to deal 99, I guess.
We've got this, Marstead. Where? How? Where? First try.
Field graphics, interesting. Alright, so next one I will not be able to get away with that. But I can try to watch the boss's health. Next one has 33k HP. So I can do 18k if I can finish it off if I know that I have it down. I can do 15k worth of damage. I guess we can try to count darkness casts. Okay. I could just attempt it the way I was doing fights before and like actually try to beat it without cheese, but how is the damage on darkness calculated? Is it just a flat amount or is it also based on max health? Oh, is it always that I have to jump from somewhere else? Okay, never mind. Oh shit, I tried to switch to equip there. Maybe I can do it after I talk to them.
Help the boss.
The Gullwings are on it!
Hey, let me back out. Cool. Probably be another titanium bangle, and then one of them can be the mithril bangle. Everyone else is useless. Strength? Okay. This one I think we want to kill the ads. Get it, Nude. You're a really cool guy.
This thing just keeps on ticking.
We'll
We actually
finish
get
it.
special boss music now?
Do it.
It's so big!
Woohoo! No more climbing!
Could you please focus?
This
Darkness
time the
hits
legs are
everything?
just a distraction. You know where to strike.
Thanks, Oren. This most HP, I should be able to maintain this quite a bit longer. 2, 3, 4. Five. Barely better. 6. 7. It's also like a really short loop. 8.
Forget the small fries. Go for the core. The core's your target.
Love the weird ally ADR. 10. That's what it feels like disconnected sudden ADR. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. Should be able to do it now, but 16. 17. I think I accidentally used Una there. Checked as a helicopter parry.
We did it! Phew.
Did we do it?
We're shooting.
Do I get a game over? Because my whole party's dead. Then it's like glitched. That's even funnier. Video games. Alright, well, next time, I guess I'll top everybody off really quick before I finish it off. See, even that boss, this is what I was talking about. This version of the game seems to have some weird ATB glitch, right? Where, like, for some reason, whenever you use abilities that have cast bars, the enemy's ATB just stops working the way it's supposed to. And your ATB stops working the way it's supposed to, for what it's worth. So, like, the previous Vegnagun form was a lot harder because I think it was able to constantly use cast bar abilities, which were all really strong. But this guy, I don't think he can do too much if you're just smashing darkness like that. Yeah, it's bizarre. Like, the ATB is almost non-functional in this game. There's a very small number of abilities that seem to ignore the cast bar mechanic. It's weird that, like, you do the cast bar and then your turn is active as soon as the bar finishes filling. It just seems odd.
The Gullwings are...
It's supposed to do a big attack on everyone every time you deplete 20% of its HP. But maybe that's just getting stalled by the constant darkness spam. That's really funny if true. Oh boy. See Gipple being a badass again. It would make sense if the game was intended to be like mostly played with Knights of the Old Republic spam.
We'll finish it.
Do it.
Do it. Okay.
It's so big! Woohoo! No more climbing!
Could you please focus?
This time the legs are just a distraction. You know where to strike.
I thought the legs were just a distraction last time, too. Even though all the dialogue was focused on, you need to deal with the nodes, even though they have too much HP to be worth dealing with, so actually don't do that. 4... 5... 6... 7... 8...
Forget the small fries. Go for the core. The core's your target.
11... 13, 14, 15. Yeah, but the ATB is so unpredictable that I feel like that's like an actual bad idea. Like, trying to change the attack actions by spamming, by hitting the nodes, like, by the time your action that's supposed to change their attack goes off, the computer will have already gone, or, you know, the turn order is not predictable enough to make that work, basically, is what I'm saying. You just darkness spam the whole time and not even bother with Charon, as long as I can keep everyone healed with Riku. Let's see.
Protect the core.
Legs protect the core.
The legs! They're throwing everything right back at us!
What are you talking about? What is happening? There's a lot of like baffling things going on in this game, but having Jekt and Orin yell at you,
the legs will retaliate in different ways.
And not even in an interesting way, right? Just like trying to specifically comment on the not very good JRPG boss mechanics. The not very exciting or well-deployed JRPG boss mechanics.
Where's Shooting?
This song sounds like it's from Pathologic. So 38k this time, so I think it's... We gotta count to like 20-ish, a little bit more than 20 to make sure we're safely in range.
What now?
Maybe we're finished?
It's the big bad apocalypse machine, Mecha Mothra.
Finished indeed.
Verily!
I love the completely unnecessary factor that Shuyin is a ghost who possesses Barreleye. Like, why does he need to be a possessing ghost? Can't he just be... Okay, he needs to be a possessing ghost so that Nuge can say, I'll let the ghost possess me and then I'll blow him up with a bomb, right? Like, I thought the implication was that when somebody died, that the ghost just got to possess somebody else, but whatever. They wanted to make Barreleye relevant, I think.
He's got a plan B too!
He's panicking. Yuna, end it now.
This is it, everybody! Stay focused!
This is comical. Gun.
Julian!
Can't end like this.
I'm getting ticked off!
Oh, that's nice.
Come, Vegnagun. Let us purge this repulsive world.
Sure. You tell him, James Arnold Taylor. I guess he doesn't look like Barreleye anymore. You can see Titus in there playing the organ boss. Hey, the dialogue in Final Fantasy X is fine. This is filler anime.
The end now begins.
Oh, I haven't been counting. Start counting now. 1. The MP train is mean.
The only faith you need is faith in yourself.
What? Two. 3.
If Vegnagun fires, it's all over. You have to stop it now. There is no overtime.
Thanks, checked. 5. 6. Oh, good. Cool. Rad and also sweet. Seven, 8, 9.
Give it an extra pounding for me.
Will do, dude. Surprised we didn't have to fight Dark Ject because they had Vraska's final Aeon as a entry in their like Tetsuya Nomura JPEG folder. Maybe he's in like this game's equivalent of the Monster Arena or something. I love that, like, you know, you fight all the Dark Aeons for no reason. It's not commented on at all. At least they're in their temples. And then you go to the final dungeon, and for no reason... Oh, this seems bad. For no reason you run into, oh, and the rest. Dark Shiva, Magus Sisters, Anima. And there's, like, no commentary from any of them, right? Oh, hey, isn't that just literally the Anima Oblivion attack animation, but they added like a TV effect in front of it? Video games. I want someone to make Majora's Mask if it was made like Final Fantasy X-2. Like, make that ROM hack. I probably hit it enough times that I could finish it off with Charon right now, but... Yeah, it's literally just the Oblivion animation, but with a TV effect added on the end of it. No, don't blind Riku.
All shall find rest.
So does the Dark Knight class become immune to most status effects by the time they master the job? Skull Kid is a ghost that possesses Malin. The moon is a machine, and you cheese the final boss fight by hitting with the hook shot 40 times. Yeah. Generic dungeons made of orthogonal cells, exactly. I think it would be a fun project. It's hard to make something like bad on purpose, you know? In a way that's still entertaining and not just like low effort. I want like the Garth Marenghi's Dark Place of ROM hacks. Ow.
Yuna, Riku, Pain. This is your time. You must defend it.
Thank you. That's... I don't know if that counts as advice. You could... It would be interesting to see them try to readapt Vecna anything 10-2 into Final Fantasy 14. Yoshi P is the Dave Filoni of Final Fantasy. He's here to save the day. Yeah, see, a spin-off roguelike with this job system would have been fine. I think that would have been... like, if they had this dress sphere thing and there was no story, really... You gotta climb through the 99 layers of the dungeon, and it's just all combat. Preferably you wouldn't play as Yuna, Riku, and Pain. Maybe you'd play as Pain and like 2 new characters or something. This is the fight that has the big attack every 20%. I can't tell if he's just supposed to use it constantly. Is the fight not over until I finish off the... Oh, okay.
Maybe he'll listen.
Yeah, let's talk to Shu.
Yeah, let's talk to Shuyin. Incredible. I know they cast their queued spells at the end of battle, but I was curious whether I still needed to kill the redoubts or whatever. It would have been funny because it gave me the achievement when I did the final damage, but I think I could have gotten the achievement for beating Vecna and then still game overed in that fight because of the queued spells, if my health had been low enough. Oh, interesting, Leon.
Shuyan.
Len.
There's something I must tell you. Words left unspoken for 1,000 years.
So this is supposed to work better in the context of the incorrect localization of
and I'm grateful.
The original Final Fantasy X. That's what she was supposed to say, and they changed it.
But I couldn't save you.
It doesn't matter. Please, don't go on grieving alone. Rest.
Even under budget. Again, the idea that, like, Dream Titus is, like, a summoned creature that's inspired by an actual living person in Xanarkand is a cool idea. And I would love a story about Yuna trying to get over her grief by, like, trying to connect with that person who isn't the same person, right?
No.
But I don't even think that that's canon, that's who Shuyan is. I think he just happened. It's like Chappu. The number of people in the Final Fantasy X universe who look just like Chappu is... It's weird that there are two.
Just don't
okay,
get it,
well, that was pointless.
It's no good. He's not listening.
Shuyan, please stop this!
Be strong, Yuna.
Is it just straight up Titus?
$1,000 years of agony.
Oh, we renamed it to Terror of Xanarkand. Okay, he at least has a cool, badass looking blitzball that's all scary and evil. I love it, he just kicked you with a regular blitzball. Because that was their animation that they had in the folder.
Put that crybaby to sleep.
It's like 4. He just uses all of his overdrives. Yeah, I think that they just subbed it out. They've done that with a couple of the classes. Like, it's kind of cool that Yuna uses one of Titus's swords when she's a Dark Knight. And Riku has the Masamune. Some of the other jobs have weapons that were from the first game. Probably, it felt cool when I played this. People were like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's a reference to the first game. It's like, no, those are the models they had. That's why. It's cool. We're going to rename the abilities. I know, right, sir? I think it's janky balancing, like all the random battles. The sandworm earlier that...
All this ugliness must end.
I just put in a random number for its health total. I think it was just because I was more willing to 100% the game, so I was able to, like, extract more value out of the the base experience by trying to get like the mascot dress sphere and stuff, right? Also, I had the benefit of when I was playing this as a kid, I didn't know where it was going, right? I didn't know that it ended somewhere stupid. Because I did remember the ending of this game being kind of dumb and not great for Final Fantasy X. It's kind of like, it's hard to go back and watch the first few seasons of Game of Thrones again in the same way, now that you know what awaits you at the end of the tunnel. Even though that stuff is actually very good. So you could have in your head this whole time, like, oh, this is gonna pay off eventually. And you wouldn't notice the bizarre balancing jank if you were 100%ing the game because there's nothing to notice, right? Like, actually, if there's ever a time.
Don't falter now.
Because if you're 100%ing the game, then you're just Knights of the Round one-shotting everything that's not a super boss. So you get to this fight and you one-shot Shuyin and you think nothing of it.
Don't let up! Keep fighting!
Screw it, you're out of
Do you think the light will beat the darkness? No, I think the darkness will beat the light. Jesus Christ.
1,000 years of agony!
I gotta get that folding ideas cringe line now. It's a big time loss if I screw it up, so I'm just gonna spam darkness. It's not a big deal. At least they gave him a new sword model.
Uni? Shuyin. Shuyin.
Don't try to tell me you understand.
Another block scene. I thought I turned that off last week. I guess it was on the title screen and I missed it then. That being a block screen, I guess this time at least it has music playing, but there was that other block screen earlier that didn't have any copyrighted music. I guess they were just super proud of how cool it was.
Len? Len.
Hi there.
1,000 years, and this moment is all we get?
Sup?
This moment's enough. I don't need anything else. Just knowing how you feel is enough.
Is she voiced by, Belgamina? Stop. That is enough.
Let's end this. Let's go home.
Can we?
That was all 1,000 years ago. We've come too far to look back now. Rest, Shuyin. Rest with me.
Oh, it's almost like this story was about different people.
New song for you.
This would be a cool game if you were just Yuna sitting in a theater watching the events of Nomura Kingdom Hearts inserts plus Len and Shuyin's Happy Maritime Adventure. She's just like sitting in a theater watching it, and you can press buttons to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down in certain scenes. Press X to clap. So in all that, Yuna did one thing that was connected to her character in the first game. And the rest of it, you could replace her with literally any other person, and nothing about the story would have changed. She could have been LeBlanc for the whole game. You're not going to miss anything. If you're already muted. This is where, for no reason, if you press the X button, you get a better ending. Is that right? Something like that in this flower field? This is one of the only things I remember about this game. Being deeply confused. But I needed to have a higher base completion percent, I guess. Oh, weird. I was mashing X that whole time. Oh well, I think that scene with Titus ruins Final Fantasy X even worse, so I'm glad I didn't get it.
Once my friends and I dreamed of flying.
Hey, it's the actual main characters.
We would sail a ship with me as its captain. In time, I became that captain. I found a new ship with new friends. My ship was the Youth League.
Others chose a different captain. Their boat was New Yevon.
No. I don't remember this.
You know, I realize I'm like a lot of you people. We want a captain, and we want a ship to ride, but more important than that, really, we all want to ride together.
There are some things you can't do alone, but they become easy with friends beside you.
This was the lesson that we learned when we launched those ships.
It was power. And we misused that power. We turned our friends and followers against each other.
Why?
Forgive us.
Why does Barreleye...
Somehow we forgot. There's a much larger ship out there. One we've been riding ever since we were born. That ship
They're like,
is
I know, a boat analogy. We'll do a boat analogy at the end of the game.
No one knows just where our voyage will lead us. But we do know one thing.
This is so embarrassing.
One way or another, we will get by. We'll go on living. The calm will continue.
Everyone's like, okay, well, that's not news.
Just one more thing.
Was Sint gonna be back?
We all owe thanks to a very special lady. Yeah, you all know who I'm talking about.
Meow, 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 meow.
It's time for me to go home.
What?
She left a message. She said she's going home. So farewell, but not goodbye. See you next time, kids.
Oh my god.
Did we really have to leave like that? Just think of the party we're missing.
I think we party enough, don't you?
Brother, higher! Brother, faster! I can't hear you!
So much has happened, and I'm sure it's only the beginning. Through the smiles and tears, through the anger and the laughter that follows, I know that I'll keep
I know, they really like the motorcycle airship.
This is my story. It'll be a good one. It all began when I saw this sphere of you.
And then a bunch of shit happened that had very little to do with that. But okay. Oh my god. Alright, well, give my final thoughts. I started this saying I want that feeling back, I think. I don't know if I want it back, though. My take on FF10-2 is, oh yeah, that game's got a really cool battle system, it's got some really great ideas, I wish it wasn't set in Spear, I wish you didn't play as Yuna. But if you change that, it would be fine, and I could never get that back. Could never go home again. I think the closest, I've been sitting here trying to like connect what feels like Final Fantasy X-2, because it's not like the Star Wars prequels, right? Like the Star Wars prequels have too much going for them. That's mean. Anime filler is the closest I can come up with, but anime filler exists to fill the space between... Has there ever been an anime that has done a filler where, like, the story's done, the artist is not making more, but they want to keep making money off the property, so they keep making episodes that have no connection to manga source material? My understanding is that filler is almost always bridging the gap between source material while the anime is running concurrently with the source material. Dragon Ball GT. Yeah, that sounds right. Does Naruto do that too? I'm thinking like the Bount arc in Bleach, for example. But it feels extra weird when it's like set at the end of the story, and it's not like bridging the gap between two other things, you know? Naruto is waiting for the manga to get ahead. I think Dragon Ball GT is probably the only one then, where it was actually supposed to be done and they wanted to just keep making money off of it. I think it's hard to summarize what I don't like about this game, because it's a lot of little things all over the place. It's the battles being kind of uninspired, just kind of drawing on the, you know, model folder from Final Fantasy X in a way that's somehow like less inspired than like Dragon Quest that does that pretty frequently. It's the combat balance being all over the map, some random bosses being way stronger than others for no reason, some random encounters being stronger than bosses, Oversoul sometimes giving enemies 50 HP and sometimes like quintupling their health and giving them a nuke attack. X-2 is 2 or 3 stories. They couldn't decide which one was supposed to be the A-plot. Yeah. I think if they picked an A-plot, I wouldn't be surprised if money was honestly the problem at the end of the day, that they like were extremely limited in what sort of content they were able to add, you know? He was making fun of the orthogonal orange brick dungeons, right? But that's where I think I can no longer say I wish this wasn't set in Spira, because it would not be a game if it wasn't using Final Fantasy X's assets. There's not enough butter there without the bread of Final Fantasy X's assets. And a lot of the things they have you do in those zones are just bad. Like, maybe what happened was they had this idea of let's have you visit all of the zones of Final Fantasy X in whatever order you want, and let's give you different events for each chapter that you visit those zones, and it'll be fine because it'll be a New Game Plus game, and you can 100% it by playing it repeatedly. And then they started to do that, and it took them a bunch of work in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, even though Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 still have a lot of really stupid things. And then they were like, shit, we can't maintain this. Like, this is too much work. Quick, let's do this Chapter 4 thing where you're just, like, looking at people from spheres. Wants to be Yuna's story, except with Len and Shuya not getting to really be honest with their feelings, could have mirrored it. Yeah. It being non-linear is a huge problem, I think. I think it really hamstrung their ability to tell a coherent story. Because they couldn't let you do anything in any of the optional zones that had any, like, impact on the narrative, right? Like, literally, it was nothing happens for Chapter 1, nothing happens in Chapter 2, except there's a giant death gun underneath Babel, I guess. Nothing happens in Chapter 3 except the Aeons are back for no reason, and the holes underneath where the Faith were go to Vegnagun Town for some reason, even though we have an established entrance to the Farplane, right? Oh, I remember the FF10 linearity criticism. We're calling it a hallway and posting pictures of the map, like, just being a line. And I think that was honestly a huge, like, talking point back in the early aughts. And this continued to be a talking point for a long time, but complaining about linearity, it's a thing that I always roll my eyes at, because I almost always prefer linear stories. There's only a very small handful of non-linear games that can really actually feel non-linear and don't just break down to a couple of A-B decisions that must both be resolved before you can get on path C, right? Like, Breath of the Wild is one of them that I feel like actually works really well, and it works really well because the game intentionally forgoes plot, right? It's probably the lightest on plot since the original Zelda. Yeah, 13 I always hear people talk about as a hallway simulator. This game wasn't unplayably bad. It's not Sonic 06. It's arguably competent, I guess. What's the Metacritic for this? Curious now. Final Fantasy X-2. Probably going to see the remaster primarily, right? Which is going to get muddied by the rating for... It's an 85. 7.5 user score. So a 7.5 user score is close to an F if you consider the way Metacritic grades on a curve and how, like, anything below 70 is a fail most of the time. It's a missable fast travel system. Yeah, misdirected competence. It feels like there's no direction. It feels like there's nobody who's invested in Final Fantasy X-2 who really cares about what this game is about and what we're trying to say. You know, it's like it's a game built by a bunch of people on the team who are involved in making video games and know how to make systems and stuff, right? And know how to, like, do character art and do all of the things except, like, tell a story and, like, have something to say and have, like, an arc to the player experience. So if you told me this game had no director and it was just a bunch of teams submitting things separately and, like, an AI that was compiling it, I would believe you. All right, Let's see, I have to make a post the end save point. For when someone puts this on their 30-hour sub block to come back and play it again, 100%. New Game Plus. But this has been fun to play on stream because it's a different kind of baffling from every other baffling game. It's different than RE6. It's different from Sonic 06. You know, it's different from Devil May Cry 2. It's busted in a very unusual, unique way. So thanks for joining me on this train wreck of a journey. Final Fantasy 12 will be starting soon. We don't have a ton of time to play, but we'll get about 90 minutes of it in. At least get it started here.